History Fix. Hi, it's me again, Dr. George, history professor, and doing my new thing called History Fix, giving you little historical nuggets just to feed that, feed the need, and also maybe the more we learn about our past, the better equipped we will be able to be to deal with current situations in our planet. So today is July 8th. July 8th, 1852, Commodore Matthew Perry, no, not our friend Matthew Perry, different Matthew Perry, the guy who put the word stuffed into the term stuffed shirts. Commodore Matthew Perry, in charge of a flotilla of U.S. naval vessels, arrives in Edo Bay, Japan. Up to this point, Japan had been in a self-imposed 250-year period of seclusion, in which they had decided, listen, we're more advanced, we're more civilized than any other part of the world, so we're just going to keep it to ourselves. Everyone else, leave us alone. And so they did. The West was busy pillaging and plundering, the Americas and Africa, and so they had kind of left Japan in peace. But by the 1800s, a lot of the pillaging and plundering had been done. The Industrial Revolution is kicked off. Europe and America need more resources, and so they all say, hey, let's check out Japan. So Commodore Matthew Perry and his newly conceived steamboats with their high-powered cannons and Gatling guns and rifles and all that stuff that the Japanese had never seen, show up in Edo Bay and say, hey, we're coming in. And the Japanese, seclusion, we don't want you guys around. And Matthew Perry and his bros basically kind of do the modern-day equivalent of pulling their Cybertruck into the driveway and coming into your house and making sure that you've got all the woke Bud Light out of your fridge. So Japan says, I guess we're having people over. But this is the fascinating thing about this period of Japanese history. As some of you know, Matthew Perry's, by inserting himself into Japan, so to speak, he actually prompts the Japanese leadership to kind of gauge the situation and realize, holy crap, we're about to become pawns in this larger imperial game. So we either have the chance to maintain our cultural traditions, our feudal state, and get swallowed up, or we modernize. And so that launches, by the 1870s, what will be known as the Meiji Restoration in Japan, where Japan very quickly, very efficiently, and very energetically modernizes. They throw out their feudal system, get rid of the warlords, the shoguns that had run the country for centuries, and now install a new Western-style constitutional monarchy with a parliament and everything. And then they get rid of the samurai, right? These proud, highly trained, highly skilled warriors who could defeat any man in hand-to-hand combat, the best swordsmen, the best archers, the best horse riders since the Mongols. But now, any yokel with a rifle can defeat the most highly skilled, highly trained samurai. So, see you later, samurai. You're not part of the new vision of Japan. Here's the thing, the samurai are not excited about this at all, right? Centuries of devotion, dedication, sacrifice to protecting Japan, protecting its feudal lords, knocked out the window. So several thousand, in 1878, several thousand Japanese samurai band together and launched an insurgency, a rebellion against the Japanese government. And who comes to help them? Do you know? Yep, Tom Cruise, all 5'1" of him. Tom Cruise shows up. I don't know if you've seen The Last Samurai. On the one hand, it's a great depiction of this pivotal moment in Japanese history, right? This transformative period. But the fact that Tom Cruise, can you imagine, I don't know. I'm just thinking, from a Japanese perspective. Oh my gosh, they're going to make a major motion picture about this moment in our history. Ken Watanabe, as some of you know, a major Japanese film star, does get a prime role. I think he even won awards for his role, but it's Tom Cruise that gets all the accolades. And if you haven't seen Last Samurai, I'm going to spoil it for you. All the samurai get wiped out, either killed or exiled. And the only guy still, I'm not making this up, the only guy who remains, the only samurai, is Tom Cruise. So talk about insult to injury. But Commodore Matthew Perry, right, on this day back in 1852, launched this pivotal moment in Japanese history, but another clear example of imperialism, right? Imperialism. The historical answer to the question, hey, we were here first, what are you guys doing here? Imperialism. Hey, that's our stuff, what are you doing with it? Imperialism, right? Hey, we don't believe in any of this stuff. We have our own faith in gods. Not anymore. Thanks, imperialism. So, on the one hand, right, what can we learn from this? Yes, we must, right, condemn and decry the Russian annexation of Crimea and the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Likewise, Israel's continuous displacement of Palestinian civilians, and keep our eyes on China's aspirations for annexing Taiwan and things like that. But who do you think they're taking their lead from? Right? Imperialism. American imperialism. Brought to you by such slogans as Remember the Maine and Remember the Alamo and White Man's Burden and Manifest Destiny. Well, that's your history fix for today. Maybe tomorrow I'll come back with a slightly more positive topic. I doubt it. History fix.